What's going on, everyone? It's Mike, it's John, back again. And the future is very, very different. Obviously, the news broke yesterday. Friedkin's come in. Fundamentally, the charges against Everton have almost essentially dropped, apart from a very standard lending facility that Everton have with Metro Bank, which most Premier League clubs have an equivalent of. So all of a sudden, we're not debt free, which is what has been proposed by a lot of people, and I've read places. But we're in much, much better position, and we save roughly, I believe it was £1 million a week we were spending in interest in extra payments. So we save £52 million a year. It's a lot of money if that is true to be believed. But John, we go into this game against Chelsea. Are you happy?
Oh, I'm made up, it's all done and dusted, mate, you know, and one of the Friedkin's representatives apparently went down to Finch Farm today. That'll give everyone a lift, you know, and hopefully the sort of manager now and the players will realise that there's people come into this club now who aren't going to let them get away with as much shit as they have done in the past.
Yeah.
You know, they come in and they'll have had words with Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche isn't going to say in his press conference what was said, but if these people have got anything about them, they will have said to him, the results haven't been good enough, the league position's not good enough, you're out of contract at the end of the season, earn another one to take this club into the new ground. That's the sort of words I'd want them to be saying. You know, and hopefully they've sat the squad of players down and said the league position's not good enough. We want you to get your finger out your arse, basically, and propel this club up. There's a brand new dawn. There's a new era coming at Goodison Park at Everton. Brand new stadium in the summer. Virtually debt-free now. So this club should be on the up now. If you want to be part of it, you pull your finger out and show us that you deserve to be pulling that blue shirt on week in, week out.
Mm. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. And I think that's all fair points. I think that's what you'd expect. You know, we you know, in the past, it's something I've heard a lot of in the last 24 hours, funny enough. But you can't always be the nice guy. You know, you can't always be the guy that lets everything go past, and you can't always be the one that sits there and just watches it. You know, sometimes you've got to take action. Sometimes it's got to be divisive almost, you know, to get make a catalyst of change. And fundamentally, Everton for 8 years have been what I would deem a nicey club. There's been lots of jobs for the boys. There's been lots of contracts for people that shouldn't have contracts. There's been lots of people fundamentally having their life O'Reilly at Goodison Park. And you're right in what you're saying. We need someone to come in and address those issues and be a little bit more dominant, a bit more assertive about doing it, a little bit more vocal about what's going on. And none of these things that we've had. And we're going into a Chelsea game now, which Chelsea are flying. Chelsea are playing really well. But the Everton crowd will be up. There'll be venom in the air. There'll be an expectation on the players. There'll be an expectation on Sean Dyche. And also there'll be an expectation of whoever representatives are going to be at the ground for the Friedkin group, whether it's this Mark guy, whether it's other people that have been involved in the takeover. But the fundamentals are Everton Football Club and its owners and all of the directors involved now cannot be that happy club. They need to be focused commercially, focused on a pitch and delivering results. And if they don't deliver results, then difficult conversations have to be had. And they need to happen sooner rather than later.
Well, we said this the other night, you know, the club's been too nice for a long time. And if you look at Machinery and the board he had behind him, you can't really look at them. And there was non-paid directors, i.e. Graham Sharp. There's no one there that was on that board who was willing or had the, you know, the balls about them to go into that dressing room at full time after the game where Everton have been battered and give them players and that manager a few home suits. We haven't had that. And this is why we've said many times before this takeover was done that we need someone to go in and run this properly, run it at a business, have some onions about them where they don't give a shit what they say. We've seen it at Roma. 4 managers in a calendar year have been sacked at Roma. One of them was sacked before he even got down the tunnel. Whether that's right, whether that's wrong, that's the decisiveness we need at this club. Because as I said the other night, they're putting a lot of money in. They will have representation there on Saturday. It will give the crowd a lift, everything that's happened in the last 24, 48 hours, which inadvertently, as I said the other night, you'd like to think will lift the players. Hopefully, if they've had a word in their ear today, they'll be lifted anyway. No way, shape or form am I expecting to beat Chelsea. I'm not. But I think you'll hear a better atmosphere at Goodison because the atmosphere is being dire. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. We've had nothing that can give the crowd a lift from the playing side. The crowd have been despondent with what's gone with our club for the last 2 years. Now that's changed in the last 24 hours where we've got the feeling that we're getting our club back. Now, listen, the Freakins could be a car crash. I'm not standing here blowing smoke up their arse, but it can't be any worse than what we've witnessed in the past owner that we've just had at the football club. They mightn't get it right, but I tell you what, they're going to give it a good go, and they're the sort of group of people who you need at the football club to banish the demons that we've had to put up with for years under Moshiri and come in, hit the ground running. You know, and going back to what you said before about being decisive, Dele Alli's already been told he can go. Now, Dele Alli wasn't on a wage at Everton because he wasn't under contract. Apparently, I heard something the other day, Everton were paying some sort of expenses for him, whether that was renting an apartment, whether it was in a hotel, I don't know. But Everton have been paying expenses for Dele Alli. They turned up at Finch Farm today. Dele Alli's done a farewell message already. They've gone in there and basically said, who's that? Who's that? What does he do? Well, he's been injured for 18 months and we've been paying him up until the summer just gone. But now he's training with us. Now, well, if he hasn't proved his salt while he was getting paid by this football club handsomely, let him go now because he's got no hold on us. We've got no hold with him. And there was nothing that couldn't stop the Freakins going, just finish it now. And for me, that's being decisive. Dele Alli's been told where the door is today. He's done a farewell message, which, by the way, was a good parting message from Dele Alli. So we do appreciate that. And yeah, it didn't work out the way it should have done. But they've been decisive already with a certain player there, in my opinion.
Moving on to the game. But what do you want to say? What you expected?
The thing is, this game follows on from an Arsenal display, which was, it was a defensive masterclass by Everton. We didn't really show much up front. I know we had the chance with Decore where if he hits it a bit early, you never know what happens. But I predicted we got, ripped a new one down at Arsenal. I'm predicting we get beat against Chelsea because I actually think Chelsea are playing better than Arsenal. They've got their best 11 now. The manager's come in and he's fixed on his best 11. They've got a massive squad. They're probably playing the most exciting football in the league. If we want to speak about how well they're playing, they've gelled. He's got them to gel because he brought shitloads of players in. It's a tough game. And normally I'd say at this point, so the crowd needs to get behind the boys. I think the crowd are going to be behind them on Sunday anyway with everything that's gone on. I just don't think it'll be enough against the team who, in my opinion, will be vying to win the Premier League with Liverpool.
Yeah, I agree. Me and you, and you know I love you, but we've had some decent disagreements in the last few weeks, i.e. about players, about games, about points, about managers, whether we get sacked or we don't, whether we get relegated if he's not sacked, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to disagree with you again, John.
Go on. Be boring if you didn't.
I think Everton win.
Well, it's not disagreement. It's just it's your opinion, and listen, I don't want anything more than Everton to win.
You know what it is?
Do you know what it is, Michael? We're the home team, right? And look, I had no problem with the way we played against Arsenal to get a point. I really haven't.
Yeah.
But we've got to sort of come out of our shell a bit at Goodison Park. We're the home team, and I know it's against Chelsea. And I've said this many videos lately. We need to start a better team to quieten Chelsea down because very capable. If they start getting at you from the first minute, 2 minutes, and getting in behind, you can see the game plan because that's how Chelsea play. We've got to stop that. If we can stop that and we're the home team, we may possibly get something out of it.
It just to me, it stinks of It stinks of Sean Dyche's first game as Everton manager. That's what it stinks of. You know, and if you remember, we won 1-0 in that game against Arsenal from a header from a corner. It just, that's the sort of feel I've got. You know, I think we've done okay of late. I think we've done okay of late in most departments. Yes, I want more goals from Calvert-Lewin. Yes, I want more creativity from midfield. Yes, I want more, you know, better football from the back and better distribution from Pickford. I can go through the whole team and tell you what the challenges are with all of them. But I just think this 1 week, they might get it right against a team that is going to be difficult to beat, as you rightly say. You're right in saying I think they're going to challenge Liverpool, because, again, I agree. I think they're challenging for the league. And just have this... I had this weird feeling when we played Arsenal. I did a video that went on Twitter. I remember speaking to you on the phone. I remember saying to you, we are going to win 1-0 today. And I have exactly the same feeling about this game.
So with you saying that and how you feel, is your sort of feel... I know we haven't got a new manager. We've got a new owner. Is it sort of a new owner bounce, but a new manager bounce, but a new owner bounce?
It's you know what, right? The only way I can describe it, it's a new club bounce. The whole club is different. Like, if you go back...
Social media tells you that. What's social media been like for the last 24 hours?
It's been a hive of positivity.
I don't know. We're not used to it.
I get that we're not brilliant. I get we're a rubbish football team. You know, I get there's players that won't be there in the summer. There's 11 of them. You know, I get that Brozier won't play in this game. I get that, you know, the right wing choices are not good enough. I get that we've got a 39-year-old at right back. I get it. I get all of the problems. I just somehow think we win. And I don't know why. I don't know how. I just think that crowd is going to go into that stadium absolutely buzzing, aggressive, fiery, loud. And the boys are going to have no choice but to put a performance in, just like they did against Arsenal 2 years ago. And that is why I genuinely think we win. I genuinely think we win. However,
sorry, go on.
I want to caveat that, because I've felt like this 3 times, like really 3 times in the last 12 months. The first time, well, 2 years. The first time was Arsenal and we won. The second time was Manchester United at home once we got the PSR points deduction. And we played quite well in that game and still lost 3-0. And the other one was Liverpool, where we won 2-0. So don't get me wrong, just because I'm banking on it doesn't mean it's going to happen, people. But I am positive about this one. I really am.
Would you say the manager got the game plan spot on against Arsenal?
Yeah, I would.
Right. Okay, I agree. But this channel very rarely gives Dyche credit, but we've always said we will give credit if we think it's due.
Yeah.
He's got to do the same on Sunday. He has to get the game plan spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. Not 95% right, not 90% right, 100%. Because in my opinion, he probably got the game plan right 100% against Arsenal. He's got to do it against the Chelsea team, albeit we're at home, but our home form's been shocking recently. The last couple of years. I know we beat Wolves 4-0, but he's got to get it 100% spot on against the Chelsea team, who, in my opinion, are playing better football than Arsenal. Arsenal outplay most opponents. They outplayed Everton. We just had a defensive masterclass. Chelsea are doing it now. They play the ball round you. They're fast on the break. They get in behind you so quick. They mix their goal scorers up. Man City made a massive boo-boo by selling Palmer, in my opinion. That was one of his biggest mistakes in his managerial career, in my opinion, was selling Palmer. But they've got depth all over. They've got a good bench. Every one of their players on the bench will probably get into 95% of the Premier League teams. That's the size of their squad. This is the scale we're up against. They've got a good, well-organised defence. Cucurella, I don't think he can play this week, but he's been playing out of his skin. I think he's banned for this game.
He is, yeah.
They've got Palmer, who pulls the strings. We've got Nicholas Jackson, who was quiet when he first come. He's scoring goals for fun. They're a scary team. If they click into gear with the way they can play, and they're probably the most impressive team in the Premier League, the way they break and they hit teams on the break, and the way they attack, from defence to attack, they can be defending, and within 10 to 15 seconds, your keeper's making a save or picking the ball out the net. They're a very impressive team for me, and I think Maresca's done a fantastic job. So it is a hard game. Yeah.
Do you make any changes to the team that played Arsenal last week?
No, I don't think he will, and I wouldn't myself, to be fair. Again, defensively, you mentioned a 39-year-old at fullback, but he's done a job at Arsenal. The centre half.
I actually think he's been weirdly one of our most improved players this season.
Yeah, he has. Totally agree. What does that tell you though about the attackers and the strikers, Michael?
Oh, yeah.
What does it tell you? And Pickford doesn't help that by doing the long balls. But
no.
In my opinion, this is one of the disagreements we have. Because we play that many long balls, for me, Calvert-Lewin should be winning more headers. And if he did, he should have someone behind him to flick it onto when he does win a header. But you're bypassing our midfield. You're bypassing probably the most skillful midfielder we've got in Ndiaye. You're bypassing that when he's hoofing the ball 50, 60 yards, 9 out of 10 goal kicks. That doesn't help. You can't do that against Chelsea. We've done it against Arsenal, and it was coming straight back to us, and it'll come straight back at you if you do that against Chelsea as well, and we can't afford to do that. In my opinion, I'd use the midfield more, draw them in, and then try and get the ball wide and try and hit them on the break, because that will be their game plan.
I'll go through my team, but I'll only watched a bit of the press conference today, so I don't know about Dwight McNeil.
I think someone put on Twitter there's going to be a decision made on him. It's not a nailed on.
Okay, well, my team would include Dwight McNeil, and I would go 4-3-3 again. Obviously, this is my team. So I'll go Pickford in goal, Mikulenko, Branthwaite, Tarkowski, and Young. Midfield, I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but I keep with Decore for his legs.
I see
that is the only reason, because he doesn't offer a lot else, if I'm being completely honest, at the minute. And then I'll go with Garner and Mangala. I stick all three of them in there, all quick, all good on the ball, all can carry it. And then I have 3 attacking players, which is McNeil, if he's fit, Ndiaye and Calvert-Lewin up front. If it's not that team, if he wants to play a right-sided player, for example, rather than sticking, say, Ndiaye on the right, I'd rather see Lindstrom than Harrison, because Harrison's crossing this season, it literally just gets ballooned out of play every single time he crosses a ball. It's awful. So for me, I'd rather see Lindstrom than Harrison. And the fact that Brozier can't play is disappointing, because when I've seen him, apart from last week, I thought it was a difficult game from last week. But when I saw him against Palace for 10 minutes and I saw him at Southampton, I think he's a hell of a player. He can't play against Chelsea. So
I go with your team. I see why you put them midfielders in, because obviously, as I said 5 minutes ago, the way Chelsea break, we're going to need legs in there to help tackle back, to help the defence out. So I do get that, the formation, I get the players. The only thing I will say about the right midfield, if he's going to put Harrison or Lindstrom in there, personally don't give a shite who it is, because I think they're both poor football players.
Yeah, fair enough. John, I know you said we're going to lose, but what's the score prediction?
2-1 Chelsea.
I'll go 1-0 Everton.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Oh, well, I hope I'm right as well, John. But hey, we are where we are. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, guys. Make sure you go over to back4.com. More designs have gone live on the website, specifically now Blue Boys Network clothing. So you can get yourself a t-shirt with Blue Boys Network on there. There's some new logos on there and stuff. So make sure you go and treat yourself. And apart from that, that is it. Match reaction will be Sunday. I don't want to say it because there was comments about it in the comments on the last video about the amount of holidays I've had this year. However, I am away.
You're spending Christmas away. You are going to Egypt, which is a fair old way. So I'm sure you will have a good time. I hope wish you all the best. You will probably doing a few videos together while Michael's away if the time zone doesn't allow us to, and the internet and all that. So, yeah, just keep smiling. Hit the like.
I love you.
Right. For anyone who was watching the video now but doesn't get to see the video on Sunday, if we don't do a video before Christmas, have a lovely Christmas. From me, Michael, Blue Boys Network, to you and all your family. Have a safe one as well.
Up the toughies.